You serve many industries between grocers, constructions, food and beverage, government, hotels, casinos. If you had to pick one, or maybe the worst, which one would be your favorite? And or maybe you can give us an order.
Uh, I would say my favorite would be the construction industry. I mean, it's almost a tie between the construction and the airlines, man. I mean,
Oh,
uh,
really?
I really like the airlines because we get to do the dry ice and the wet ice together. And then I would say construction would come second, just because it's obviously it's a higher margin, and you could put the nice route ice sensors in there and monitor them. And the guys are pretty much all construction sites across the board have been pretty. They're always flexible. Yeah, get us tomorrow. Get us on Monday. They don't work weekends, stuff like that. But the airlines, it's really cool saying, "Hey, jumping on the next flight." My
Yeah.
ice is on there.
That's
Right.
pretty cool.
Right.
And you say dry. So what do the airlines use dry ice for?
So from what I've learned over the course of the time that we've been servicing the airlines, and since we got involved with the dry ice manufacturing, I got to learn a lot of how they use the product. They use a lot of the dry ice for preparation in their kitchens, and then also the main usage is there's no refrigeration on airplanes. And I didn't know that. And the only way to refrigerate the product is with dry ice. So the carts the food and beverage carts that come up and down the aisle with the flight attendants, those are packed with dry ice. There's a little slot at the top where the preparers at the kitchen, they slide it over, and there's a thin. It's probably like less than an inch. It's a 5 by 5, 1 inch slab. It's a 1 pound. We call it airline cut, and they throw in like 5 or 6 of these little squares in there, and it's an insulated cart, and the actual cart, the gas of the dry ice goes down and through the sides, and it refrigerates everything in that cart. So if you're ever on an airplane and you get a can of soda or something and it's a little cold, you wonder, like, hey, how the heck is this cold? It's because of the dry ice. And I didn't know
I
that. Yeah.
never wondered how it's cold,
No.
but I just
But it,
assumed it was refrigerated.
but it makes
Yeah,
sense. They
you
don't
think
have to
so.
have the refrigeration equipment. That's one
Yeah,
less thing that they have to worry about.
yeah. Well,
So
they're
You're right.
flying
You
around. Yeah,
think so. But from what I understood, the flights don't have refrigeration equipment
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
on
Hmm.
board.
So is the contract that you have, is that with each individual airline, or is that with the airport itself?
No, it's with the actual caterers, and then the caterers have the contracts. But we do a lot of work with Ready, where they have contracts with the actual airline, and then the airline will direct which specific vendor they want to choose, so on and so forth.
Hmm.
But we've had a great partnership with Ready. We've been working with them for so long. I mean, we're their co-packer down here in Southern California, and so yeah, some of it, we have some direct contracts, but a lot of times it's the location of the kitchen, or the concessionaire, you would say, or the kitchen, the caterer,
Yeah.
um, and then they kind of whoever they get, it's what the ice company would be able to service. But there are times where I've heard or I've seen it where if they have if a specific airline had a national contract with a certain ice supplier, they can direct their caterer to go with that supplier too. So it could
Okay.
work in a lot of different ways. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting market. But I say that's the coolest, the easiest. Um, they put their orders in. They give you a whole week orders in advance. You got the whole week to prepare for it. You have stock if you break down. So I mean, yeah, it's pretty easy going, and the construction would be second. Oh, I like concrete ice a lot.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
Concrete ice. That
All right.
falls in construction.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
All right.
Pretty
So
cool.
on the back end, so which one is the? I don't
The
want to say
worst,
worst. I'm going to say the toughest.
the least,
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
least
uh,
enjoyable.
as of this year, I think the toughest have been the. the mom and pop liquor stores.
Yeah.
You know, the mom and pop liquor stores are probably made it down here for me. Not that I don't want them. It's just like, holy cow, man. There's no pleasing them. You know,
Okay. Okay.
even with the Route Ice sensors, you're like, hey, man, you got 40% of the merchandiser. I want it now. Like, okay,
All right.
why? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, it's a little bit of a battle. And then the 7-Elevens, of course, always wanting free ice. It's the nature of the game. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
they push. You got to push back a little bit. Sometimes you give them a little bit of discount here and there, but make them happy at the end of the day is what I always tell my team. I tell my team and my staff, just make the customer happy. You know, sometimes you can't give them what they want, but give them a little bit.
Yeah. 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 Right. 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 Well, why don't you introduce our
Yeah.
guest here?
So for everyone watching, this is Anthony Toma. He's the CEO of San Diego Ice Company. Has been a friend of Ethan's for years, and we've been looking forward to speaking with him. San Diego Ice is a family-owned ice manufacturer that serves the San Diego, Riverside, and Inland Empire areas. And so, welcome, Anthony.
Thank you for having me. It's been an honor. I mean, since you guys started, I was like, man, I wonder when I'm going to get on the podcast.
You got
Right.
the call
it's,
and you
it's
answered.
definitely an honor being here. I'm so glad that you guys are doing this. I think it's been the coolest thing that someone has done in the industry. So yeah, no, thank you for doing it, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're
Thanks.
joining us for our end of our 2 years that we've been
Yeah.
doing this, Jeff. So,
Yeah.
congratulations, sir. So,
Congrats to you guys as
I
well.
feel like we should have a little birthday cake or something.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
right. Well, both of us trying to
We-
watch
we don't
our
need
girlish
cake.
figures here. So,
Okay, so moving on, Anthony. If we're looking back at young Anthony, he would have had probably some much different plans for his life um,
Oh boy.
than
Yeah.
current work life. And so we just kind of wanted to ask you to speak to that and talk about what brought you to leading your ice company.
Well, man, it still gives me the chills when I think about it now as I'm a little older. I'm 33 years old. And I kind of had to grow up a little too fast. So, I mean, I always came to work with my dad in the summer. We lost our father in 2010 of May, and I was 18 years old, graduating out of high school, and I always came to work with him. My Saturdays, my summertime, everything, winter break, spring break, any of the holidays, I'm here. I'm here. I'm getting down and dirty with the guys. I am bagging. I'm cleaning, delivering. So the whole nine. What a family owned business, typically has as family members working in there. And 18 years old coming into the business. Now that I'm older and I see 18-year-old
Yeah.
teenagers and young adults, and I'm like, wow. Like, holy cow. It just not trying to pat myself on the back or anything, but now that I'm like, I'm fast forward 15 years, you're like, holy cow, that guy, that
Yeah.
was me one day, and you don't now I maybe what I'm trying to say is nowadays you don't really you don't hear about it. You don't, 18-year-olds nowadays, you're kind of like, maybe we should step in and help him out a little bit. Hopefully he does
Right.
really well. Um, thick skin in the game. You got to have thick skin in this game. But so took over, not really took over, but we were here. My sister could have done it with my sister, my brother, my mom, Ethan. Ethan has a funny story about my mom, how he met her. But they all had to come a long way, man. I mean, they weren't really as heavily involved, and back in our younger days, and they had to come a long way, learning the growth, the customers, the who's, the whys. The why do we do this? What's going on here? Why we got to spend this kind of money? Why do we need to grow? Why can't we stay where we are? Why do we gotta uh, install this, maintenance that? It was just a different atmosphere for them, and man, they came a long way. But I proudly can say I couldn't have done it without them. A lot of ups and downs because again, my age, my brain wasn't fully developed at that time. Now that I'm here, I'm still 18 years old.
It
So
is crazy
um,
to think about. Yeah.
yeah,
I've,
you,
I've been around you a few times. I'm not sure if it's still fully developed, but
it's still not. Yeah. But the biggest thing is I learned. I think I'm grateful for all the mistakes that I made. I learned from all the mistakes that I made, and get right back up and you keep doing it again. Um, you know, lose a little bit here and there. I mean, again, I think it really builds your your skin a lot thicker, and it really gives you the motivation to keep going and do better. And it overall, in general, builds your experience. And I am happy to share that experience that I have today with others in the industry, other locals, other people starting up. Whatever I can refer, and biggest thing overall is that our network of people has been truly remarkable, and the teams, the partners that we've built, has really developed into a beautiful flagship. And just from working with our refrigeration contractors to our fleet managers, or where we buy our equipment, everyone from our ice vendors. One of our main vendors that really has helped us push through all this automatic ice. I mean, they've done a lot of remarkable things here at both of our ice plants. And again, we work as a team, work like family. We've been in bed with AIS for over 12 years, and we're very loyal to them and honored to have them as part of our team. And we look at our vendors a little bit more than just a team member. We kind of treat them like good friends and family. So, but yeah, so I mean, we've came a long way, and happy to be here, man.
Yeah.
well, I'd like to talk to a couple of things that you said. We're going to actually dive into quite a few of those things that you actually brought up through the next 40 or so minutes that we've got. One of the things I wanted to mention, and you, I was, I mean, you've been in the ice industry obviously a long time, but I mean, you're in your early 30s, but you are quite long in the tooth as far as experience. And unfortunately, the way that you had to garner that experience was, through the passing of your father, and you had to be thrust into what you're doing today. So it's been my honor and privilege to watch you grow, be able to help you grow in some of those things with our business partnerships that we've been able to help you with. But I've just been insanely proud of you, brother. So
Thank you, thank you. I
know,
appreciate it. It
be
means a
able
lot.
to yeah, be able to grow like you have and be able to take on what you had. So one of the things you mentioned about with your mother,
Hmm.
I'd mentioned that Jeff, that it was still when I was doing installs that I came
Yeah.
on, and we were there, we were rocking and rolling. I think it was into day one, and I mean, and you're pretty chill. Anybody that knows Anthony, he's a pretty chill dude. So his mom comes in and she walks past, and I'm like, oh, she was super nice. Hello, and Anthony said, "Hey, I'll be right back. Just hold up for a few minutes." And you mosey into the office, and next thing I know, it's like World War III has. I think there was some Arabic getting thrown. I'm not.
Yeah, man. Ethan got to experience the real family dynamic of how a family business operates. That's always gets stayed behind cover, behind closed doors, but Ethan was thrown right in the mix of it. I'm glad you mentioned that. But one of the biggest things that our family has overcome and that really has had to, I mean, anybody, and I can speak for everyone, change, man.
Yeah.
Change has not been easy. And it's just, I think for anyone in general, as a human factor, it's just like nobody likes to change a lot of things. And we still fight it today.
Uh-huh.
Um, we want to change a couple strategies with our drivers, and it's hard to get everyone to be on the same page. And I think at that time, I mean, we were again a lot younger. My mom's just looking at me like this kid wants to just do everything.
You're a baby boy that
Yeah,
is like,
yeah. But those are the things you just got to push through, and you gotta fight it out. And I mean, even today, like we're installing this big compressor, we're doing this big refrigeration expansion, And I signed on the dotted line, and they're just like, "What are you doing?" It's just, it's not as bad as it was before, but it's like you got to push through. And at the end of the day, we all truly appreciate what we do for each other. And luckily, we're all still here. We're all still involved. No one's broken off. And honestly, it really builds the family bond together as well. You fight, you scream, you yell at each other. You go home with the problems. You come back here with the problems. But at the end of the day, I mean, just remember, family's family, and you can't choose your family, and you got to work with them. So either hash it out, figure it out, come to amends, and that's kind of like what we've really been abided by. We've seen, I mean, we come from a family that we've seen them broken apart, man, just over a stupid little thing. And that's something that we've learned from other people's experience and taken in consideration. Like, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be these guys. So yeah, man. But the Arabic thrown in there, Ethan's like, what's going on? Did I
Just
leave?
well, just to finish my story on that though is after this, and I was like, oh my gosh, it sounds like a hurricane's going to come out of that. But it stops. The door opens calmly. You walk out calmly. You just kind of say, "Hey, Ethan, it's probably best if you just head on for the rest of the afternoon, and I'll give you a call a bit later." And but I was there the next day. I think it was something that was a little bit of a surprise that you were implementing our system,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's been a great relationship. And hey, I
absolutely.
appreciate you sticking up for me. So.
Yeah, of course, bro. And hey, my mom really appreciates it. I mean, she actually she thanks me every day. She's like, "Hey, this makes a lot of sense to me," because she helps us kind of like, she likes counting the money. She's the mom. She's
Yeah.
the retired life. She's like, I just want to see the dollars. And sometimes we have her count the routes and do stuff like that. So it makes it nice and easy for her. So
Well, I want to make sure everybody understands your mother has been nothing but golden and nice
oh
and
yeah.
very professional. It's just when that door closed, it was her baby boy. And the both came off. So you guys, you had a thorough discussion.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't understand.
Growing pains, to sum it all up under an umbrella, it's the growing pains. It's painful to grow sometimes, but yeah, it came from a lot of stuff, man. I mean, that, like, back to my dad's operation. He had it all. He had his operation. He had his way of doing things. He had this, he had that. So when you bring in a newer generation, and we're not the same. So it's like we wanted to do things a little bit better. And my mom, she's always had a hard time, but she, over the years, man, she just really built a lot of trust and faith in us. Now it's like, all right, you guys do what you got to do. Just
Right.
make sure don't screw up.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we
She
wanted
keeps
to
us on
take
our
a minute.
toes. She keeps us on our toes still today. You know.
We wanted to take a minute and kind of highlight the story that you tell on your website. If anyone would like to come in and read it, we can link it in the description of this video. But go to Anthony's San Diego Ice's website and look at the About Us section. Kind of tells the story of their family business getting started with his father and all the changes and the obstacles that he overcame, and you guys just had to pick up the baton and keep crossing those boundaries and making changes, right?
Absolutely, man. I mean, these are great photos. Always sharing them. If you scroll up a little bit, um, that gentleman right there in that blue shirt, Hispanic gentleman, yeah, right there. He's Carlos. He's been with us. My dad started in '83, and he started working for my dad, I think, in '86, and he's still with us today.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
That's our longest, our oldest, and still employee today. But yeah, I mean, you can keep sharing the notes. A lot of cool things. Started with ice machines. Came from Baghdad, Iraq. From the Catholic Christian villages up north. And had had the background of electrical and mechanical stuff, and then he came down into Detroit, Michigan, started working on electrical and refrigeration. All his buddies were moving down to Southern California where the sun shines, and
Yeah.
flying back and forth between Iraq and the U.S. was a lot easier back in the days. So he moved down to San Diego, went back home, got married to my mom, flew her back down to San Diego, got citizenship, became a legal resident. And like I said, back in the day, it was a lot easier to do that. And
Yeah.
started working with ice machines. His friends are all moving here too. Started buying up liquor stores and gas stations, and called him, hey, ice guy, Iceman, and make some ice for us. I mean, literally, well, put up a couple Lear merchandisers, Polar Temp, whatever company they were back then. Put them in a warehouse, put ice machines. Had a couple 2-ton ice machines, scooping away, man, scooping and scooping and dumping, man.
Robots doing it all. So
Yeah, now we got robots doing it all. So it's crazy where we've become, where it's came, life has come. But super grateful for what he's done for us. Hopefully he's watching from up above, and you know,
Absolutely.
absolutely. The article and the picture we showed and all the different pictures that we showed a few minutes ago on the article, um, just listening to the growth, and you talk about your dad came into Michigan, had to stay there long enough so he could buy a car, be able to traverse, like you said, get to San Diego, and then just started, had nothing. I mean, I was just listening to Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's been on quite a few podcast here recently, and I mean it was kind of a similar story. Now, I don't think your dad ever got jacked like Arnold Schwarzenegger did, but it was just neat to see that American dream, that a refugee like your father,
correct.
come here to be able to take something that he would never have that opportunity in Iraq, and be able to make something of them, build something. That's what I love about our country, and it's just fantastic. So if you get a chance, again, we'll link this
Sure.
on the podcast, and please read it, because I mean it tells a story of a little bit about Anthony, but you'll find out the foundation and what Anthony has built his life on, and that's his father. So and the legacy that he created, and then all the different things. So it's great. One thing that we had, and I don't know if you can hear the thunderstorms going on from our studio here or not. So if you do hear that rumbling, our pre-talk with Anthony, though, we told him, hey, hopefully we don't have any power problems here. We got some thunderstorms rolling through. So hey, I'm from San Diego, but not saying that I'm from San Diego. He's like, oh, it's that rough, huh? I mean, we have daily thunderstorms here, but man, we're not sunny San Diego. We're not.
And you can see the sun shining through my office window, man. It's been a beautiful week here, but hey, man, push through it. You guys will be all right.
Yeah. What'd you say, about San Diego? Well, tough, you're not here, or something like that. What would you say?
Hey, I'm here. You're not. It sucks.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
So, a couple things. Let's dive over, since we've been talking about a good bit about a family. Let's take a look at a few photos here, and just kind of tell us who we're looking at. Some of these are older photos, but we'd love for you to kind of step
oh
us
wow.
through and
Oh
give
yeah.
us an idea of who we're
Man,
looking
this
at,
is,
and
all right, cool. So
a little
this
bit
one,
younger Anthony here.
yeah, man, that's crazy. So this was probably a year before my dad passed. So this is when my sister and my brother-in-law got engaged. In our culture, we have a nice a pre engagement party, and so just you see everyone kind of dressed up pretty nice and formal. So my dad, his family, well, my grandma, she was like 5 foot tall, so all my uncles, they're little shorties, but nice and stocky, and I mean really good foundation there. My dad is the shorter gentleman in the family, and I am in the suit next to him. That's me. That's the young Anthony right there, playing football at a high school. You know, starting lineman. If you go back to that page real quick, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
got you
right
in
there.
here.
I'm kind of in the
Well,
middle right there.
yeah, we'll come
So
back
my little
to you.
sister Christina in the white, my mom in the black, my little brother who works here now. In between them, my sister Angela. Yeah, these are great photos, man. Great family photos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
that's me right there. Yeah, there you go. That's when we went
what number
to
were you? I see a 6, but what's
60, 63, 64. Sorry, 64.
24? Gotcha,
Um,
gotcha.
yeah, we actually won CIF. We went and we got to play in the big stadium for the championship game. Didn't make it all the way through, but we took our high school to the furthest point that they've ever been. So
Oh,
that group of guys is a rock star. If you look at the guy in the well on my side, but on the far my far left. Keep going
right
over
here?
the other way, the other way. Yeah, the other
Oh,
way.
okay.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy, Kevin McDougal. I've ran into him a couple times, and now he's a real estate agent, and we actually done a couple deals together. Like fast forward
Oh,
10 years, and I'm
yeah.
like, dude, what the heck? You know, it's me. It's like, holy shit! Like, oh my god. So a lot of the guys I'm still in touch with, so it's actually pretty cool. But yeah, great group of guys right there. I mean, rock star team. Some of the guys were able to go and do other work with the college team and stuff. But yeah, real cool, fun time.
This guy down here, I don't know if he's happy or in panic mode.
George Coronado, yeah, he's cool. Um,
It looks like he's about to get trampled.
I actually just ran into him previously. Oh, Desert Times, man. We go out to the desert in the dunes. This was my first girlfriend. That's her younger brother. We were in Akatia Wells. We were trail riding up out through the hills and the mountains. You can see the quads in the back.
Yeah.
Great photo right there. Um, getting in shape, man.
Hey,
Your
never
Rocky
stop, never
pose.
stop.
Yeah,
Now,
man.
hey,
Rough time right there. Actually, Tim Davis took this photo. He's our sales manager now. One of the guys on the football team is our sales manager. Pushed me, kind of let myself go after my dad died, and I was in the best shape of my life during football time. And man, he was like, "Hey, let's go get Cowles Mountain." We did that hike at least 4 times a week.
oh,
It's a local mountain down in our neighborhood, and you can run up the trail and come back down. But yeah, good time right there. Proud moment.
yeah,
Thanks for sharing.
and very, very long shorts. I'll say
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. Those are my football shorts, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they're long shorts. Man,
We
again, young
gotta
Anthony kind of being stupid.
is this somebody that you know, or is this just some rando, man? I mean,
No idea, man. Oh, you're putting me on the spot, Ethan.
oh my gosh.
Oh shit.
Uh,
Younger cousins, all younger cousins.
any of them in the ice business?
No, thank God. Um, a guy next to me with the one, him and his brother at the end. They own a couple 7-Eleven C stores. The guy in the middle, Dylan, is my brother's best friend and cousin, no, distant cousin as well. My brother in the black, which is at the Padres game, took him out to the Padre game when they were
Yeah.
younger.
All right, and then
And
who do
then
we?
we got Amanda here. This is actually the skinniest I've probably ever been, man.
Oh,
Amanda and I. This is at a my niece's baptism on the San Diego Bay, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm feeling guapo today. Let's take a picture." Yeah, it's my wife Amanda. Couldn't do any of this without her. She puts up with all my bullshit. Um, Stressful days, bullshit days, hardworking days, long hours. Couldn't have had any of this done without her. I truly am blessed to have her. I got two beautiful boys. Carter and Blake. She's brought to this world. Best blessings I've had, and one day, hopefully, looking forward for them to get this keep this baton going, pass it on to them. But yeah, Amanda's been a true blessing. Her and I met, I mean, when we were kids in Detroit, and have a lot of family in Detroit. That's why you hear that city a lot. And met through some relatives, and she kind of is a family friend, and we kind of crushed each other since we were kids.
Yeah.
We flew back and forth. She moved to San Diego one year. She was a freshman. I was a senior in high school, and unfortunately, I had a girlfriend, and she was just a freshman. And she actually moved to San Diego for 1 year. Moved back to Michigan. Once she finished school, and then we rekindled. I had to take over one of our family businesses. I'd say about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, and I was bored one day, and I said, "Hey, let me call up that relatives and see if she's around." And I called her and I FaceTimed them. I just went straight to it, and they both were together. They're like, "What the heck is this guy calling for?" And I just called to BS and say hi, and then on that FaceTime call, I said, "Hey, what's up, girl? Where you been?" And said, "Hey, when we get off the phone, make sure you call me." Ever since that day, if I didn't take over that family business, we probably wouldn't have been married.
Yeah, so Anthony just went straight Joey on Friends. How you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Fast forward, we've been married since 2017. Um, you know, and grateful to have everything. Oh wow, big
Hey,
truck.
hey,
That's my
hey,
old
get
truck.
get us some photos of your boys, and we'll put them back.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
put them
absolutely,
on top
man.
of the truck. So
Absolutely. I
I,
can I show it on my phone here?
yeah, she go ahead and show it, and we'll and send us, and we'll put them here. It'll be a little bit larger. But while you're finding those photos, this truck, when I came out to visit you, I don't know if it was this truck, but this was the true sign. I come out to San Diego. I know there are redneck
Oh
wannabes.
God, man, don't.
Alabama does not hold,
All the
only
rednecks in the world.
rednecks. We got jacked up trucks everywhere. So,
Yeah. This was a great custom truck. My cousin, he got me. I mean, I've always been in the desert and lifted trucks and cool stuff, shocks and suspensions. But that was one of my favorite builds. My dad bought me that truck before he passed, and he had some American friends, or they had lifted trucks and stuff, and deletes and DPS and all this loud stuff. And again, a young kid, I love that stuff. And I fell in love with this one lift kit called Rise Industries, and I just said, "Hey, I want this." I love the whole dune buggy life and all this, and I want this when I grow up. And then I always hear the dollar amounts people spend on this stuff, and I don't think I can ever spend that kind of money on a truck. Now I'm over here on my second, second
yeah.
and third build, but that truck was one of my favorite builds. Had that thing for 10 years before I let it go, and man, I love that thing, but now I got the second one over here and a much newer one. But sorry to cut you off, but this was an updated family photo with my boys. You guys
Yeah,
see that? All right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
said, send that to us. We'll put a
I
bigger.
will. I will. Yeah.
We
Blake
both
and Carter, they're both born in the same month, 2 years apart, within a couple days. So uh, Blake was born on April 18th, and Carter's born on the 21st. So they're like almost Irish twins, man. So big
sure.
dudes.
So while we're talking about some fun stuff, we want to throw our first icebreaker at you.
All right.
And for this, we've got a video to share, and we're gonna edit it so it looks and sounds good in
Okay.
post production. But we are going to let you watch it live just so we can get
Hey,
your reaction reaction to it. And we want to ask a follow-up question here. So this is
Oh my God.
We just gotta let it play.
Come in the video, man.
I
know
you're not stopping, huh, Ethan?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I remember that day.
so the question we need answered is, what is that dance called? What was that?
So we were, I think I was about 20 years old there. Again, very real young, doing stupid stuff. One of my cousins, Andrew, had a liquor store, and I was kind of go hang out with him, stop by, and back in the day, there was this group of guys that made this, local guys that made this stupid rap song, and we kind of all just kind of laughed about it, and then we were kind of making fun of them, rude, but whatever. But one of the guys was like, "Hey, let's do a dance with their song, and we're gonna post it on Facebook." So that's what we did. It was the guy with the feather stick. That's his employee that stocks the shelves at the
It looks like the Macarena met the robot.
Oh God, yeah.
It is.
I can't believe that stuff is still up there. Once we're done, I'm gonna take all that down.
This is a public service is getting interviewed on BTI because we'll find stuff.
Gotta go locate it. So, all right, if I can dry up my laugh tears here.
Oh my God, you got me shaking and sweating, man. I'm like, holy cow.
So we're gonna stay on the video theme, but this is over on the professional side. So we're gonna watch another video here. Just a second, we'll come right back and ask you a question about it.
Okay, cool.
Hello everyone, welcome to California Ice Company. My name is Anthony Toma, and today we're going to be giving you a tour of our state-of-the-art facility built and designed by Automatic Ice Systems. Now here we are in our ice making room. Behind me are two P34AX cells that can produce up to 75 tons a day. In this room we are currently estimating about 130 tons of ice a day. This room is equipped with, again, two P34AX cells, one 8-cylinder and one 12-cylinder Vilter compressor, along with a big enough receiver and suction accumulator for the growth of 4 P34AX cells. One of the great things about working with Automatic Ice Systems is their redundancy and efficiency of the ice makers. What's neat about our system, and I'm pretty sure a lot of our systems might be similar or somewhat like it, but this is different from me. With this system, I can actually operate with one compressor and two ice makers. When ice maker number 3 and 4 come into place, I'll be able to do the same exact thing. Operate 4 ice makers with one compressor, 2, or both. When we first built this plant, we built it with a larger receiver and a larger suction accumulator to accommodate the needs of ice maker number 3 and 4. We will also be placing compressors number 3 and 4 in the spots dedicated for them that are already prepped for it. That's the great thing about working with Automatic Ice. They made us really comfortable working with ammonia, and it's been nothing but the best experience so far. Now we bring you to the bin room. The bin room behind me has a 50-ton Keet walking floor. Welcome to the ice packaging room, where all the magic happens. This room is so fascinating to be in because when you're watching everything happen, it's almost like you can be here all day just watching. To my left here, we have the Colza 300 that we recently purchased and we're very happy about it. And it goes forward into the metal detection system. The metal detection system is by Fortress. As soon as it passes and clears the metal detection, it will go upwards into the palletizing system, where there it is stacked into the chamber on top of a pallet. After the pallet is full, it then exits into a pallet conveying system that travels sideways into the automated stretch wrapping system. Once the automated stretch wrapping system has completed that process, it then meets the operator into the freezer. Welcome to the block plant. This plant manufactures 60 tons of block ice in 24 hours. Once the manufacturing process is complete, the crane behind me will then pull the blocks of ice up row by row. Each row contains 12 blocks. Once it is pulled from the brine tank, it then goes into the dip tank to thaw out and then tilted over and palletized. After that, then it goes to our customers. Welcome to our freezer room, where it's about 15 to 10 degrees in here. It's very cold. In this freezer room, it's an 8,000 square foot freezer. We're able to accommodate up to 1,400 pallets of ice. Incredible amount of inventory. Well, there you go. There you have it. We hope you enjoyed this tour. You're always welcome to come and have one in person. Thanks again.
So with the video that we just watched, you did a very good job. I mean, I didn't know that you were also a movie star, not only just an entrepreneur, doing all those things. But why is that? When I look on your website, it's the second video. Why didn't you get top billing? Like you got the other guy with automatic on top. I mean, why weren't you the main? You should be the headliner, man. You did such a
Oh,
good
man.
job.
Well, Doug got to make the first video of the California ice plant is the plant over in Lake Elsinore. Man, both my plants are my babies. But over time, as that plant has grown, I'm trying to figure, I've been trying to figure out a name. And if you guys come up with one, please share it. It's like a Willy Wonka and the Ice Factory type of plant. And and Automatic, they've done such a remarkable job, putting something together from full scale build and doing it in phases, and with all the changes that we've made. I invite anyone to come to that place. I mean, it is incredible. It is the newest and greatest and latest type of stuff. But so Doug did the first video. And there'll probably be another one getting released here pretty soon once we finish the refrigeration expansion. So he did the first video because one, I wasn't there to do the first one, and I think he wanted to kind of really emphasize what is going to happen, and because we put the new Koalas there, it is one of the newest plants in it is the newest plant in Southern California. So it was a kind of special moment for both of us. So we wanted to kind of split it up, where he did the first video with the first palletizer, and then I did the second one where it was all a complete package now. And that's why in the second one you see kind of it's done.
It still should be the first one on the.
Yeah, I know. But there's a third one. That one is like the real ultra. Like that one covers everything. So
Okay, well, send us a link and we'll pop that in.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be happy to.
So how many takes did it take? Were you able to get through that with no problem at all? Or
No,
did you have to have more than one?
That was my first video I did like in person, where someone was like shooting a live shot and like, all right, don't screw this up. So I was under a little bit more pressure than I anticipated. So I really, I had no script. So I was like, I don't know what the hell to say here, but just say all good things. And the hardest part was like, walking the walk and talking the talk together, and not really going too fast, trying to present it and talking and just really flowing. The flow was the hardest part. So trying to do all three of those things together was a little bit challenging. So it did take me a few takes at some points. The ice machine room, I was really trying to figure out, like, damn, um, this place would have been a lot better if we added, if we did the video with 3 and 4 in here and like the whole scale. So I think when we kind of complete the plant here in the next few months, where everything's going to be displayed, it's going to be pretty remarkable. I think you'll have both of us now, and so we'll put that one at the top.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
So I want to challenge our viewers, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. Anthony invited you to come up with a better name for his plant, the Willy Wonka Ice Factory.
Willy Wonka and the Ice Factory. Yeah.
Come up with a better name for him. Put it
Yeah.
in the comments. Help him out. He needs your help.
I'll throw one out, just a Wonka Wonka.
Wonka. Anthony
Yeah.
Toma. I said Anthony Toma and the Ice. It doesn't flow as Willy Wonka, you know?
He doesn't roll off the tongue.
Man,
Oh man, yeah.
that's
Tony
so.
Toma, Tony the Tiger. No, you can't use that. That's copyright.
That's right.
So, Anthony, as a part of the younger generation, we enjoy interviewing, the older members who are passing on to the younger members, or the younger members. We like to ask, what's your take on, advice for families who are going through that transition? If you're speaking to another younger Iceman, what would you have to say to one of your peers who wants to kind of take over the family business?
Man, great question. Thank you for asking that. I still look up to older people, and I still go to them, people that are in the business and not in the business. I still go to my go-to people to check mark the question whether I'm doing the right thing or I'm not. What would you do? What would you do if you were in my shoes? Or kind of give a similar analogy to them. So I never really. I'm still not even at that part where I'm like, oh, I think I've been through so much experience where I should know what I'm doing. I'm doing the right thing. So, man, if both mom and dad are still around, mom and dad know what's up. I mean, my mom, she's not even that involved in the business as much, but man, she's always right. Mom is always right. No matter what she says or what she does or what she doesn't know, the woman is just right. She's mom. Stay close to your family. Listen to your parents. Listen to the elders. Listen to your elders that have a lot of experience. Ask a lot of questions and learn from their mistakes. And one of the biggest things is don't try to be Mr. Know-it-all, and instead learn and ask questions, and and uh, and learn from their experience and take their answers into deep consideration. And I truly, my brother had a tough time um, coming up because he was a younger age when he lost my father. So, and with him seeing the family go through a tough time while the business grew, he kind of didn't know what to look at or what to go. So, I mean, he, after his mid 20s, he kind of really started to understand that concept where, hey, we've gone through so much, learn from what we've gone through. Even though he doesn't have a father figure or a father to look up to right now, I kind of tried to really push him and hold the baton, show him, hey, this is the way, this is what happened when we did this. This is what happened when we made this mistake. This is why we implemented this. So, and someone with a younger generation, it's kind of hard to really, really pinpoint down to them. So, I mean, stay close with your family, work together as a team, because you're not going to do it by yourself. And I had to learn that the hard way too. I'll admit it. I hey, I could do it. I could do it. I don't need you. And I was just like, man, now that I'm older, I need everyone that I can get. I It's really helpful when you have a lot of help, and it's helpful when you have a lot of family help. But when you're all working together as a team, you're unstoppable. That train will not stop. So be strong, be faithful to each other, one another, and work together as a team. Micromanaging is a big one. Micromanaging, kind of try to stay in your lane, but again, come together with ideas. Micromanaging was a big problem that we had when back in our younger days. We didn't know what roles to give one another, and now we kind of all have our separate ways, and we try to coincide with one another and collide. But when one of us has a question or needs help, that's when we really step in. We respect others' boundaries, and we respect what everyone does as a family person, and back at home and at work. We try not to bring work to home. Try not to leave work at work, but at times it needs to happen because obviously summertime is your peak season. Um, but yeah, it's hard working with family. It's not easy. Everyone will say the same thing, and a lot of people can't handle it. Get the
Yeah.
hell out of here. We don't need you, type of stuff. But if you don't go through those moments, you can't get better. You can't build stronger. It's either they're gonna come back, come back together. You're gonna be like, hey, you know what? I really need you, or not. But like I said, family is it's important.
Well, one of the things that what I hear you saying, and I know that you said that, with your brother being a good bit younger when you lost your father, and you not having a father figure, but I'm pretty sure he's had a pretty good role model in front of him.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's had some people he looked up to. Him and I grew a little distant as he got older, which obviously you get older, you get wiser. And he had a hard time kind of growing up. And I'm always there. I'm still here for him. And we're a lot closer than we are before. And I'm thankful for that. And
Yeah.
I tell my family, I can't do it without Johnny. Johnny's important part. He plays a really important role here, and he's still learning every day. He's learning how to handle employees, learn how to dispatch, work with route eyes, be more efficient, and learn the value of a dollar. How everything kind of comes about. And he knows everything. He's a hard worker. He's a very hard worker. Knows how to save a lot of money. He's good. He's good at doing that. So.
So I got another icebreaker I want to throw out there too. So, how many family members currently work for the two different companies? Would you say?
Family, it's my brother, my sister, and myself.
Okay.
Uh,
So, of those, who's typically going to, maybe I'm starting a world war here.
yeah. Okay.
Lisa, Willy Wonka, and Anthony Chocolate Factory war here.
I would say
Yeah, it
my
comes in late.
my sister likes to come and check things out when they're done. She likes to come and take the nice videos and say, "Oh my God, it's cool. Call us when it's finished." My mom the same way, but again, mom is mom. She has every right to do that. But
Yeah.
my brother, I tell him I wish you can come out and work side by side, get your hands dirty with us. But I acknowledge and I appreciate the role, the challenge that he's taken on, and off of my shoulders, the dispatching, the driver logs, all the customer service home office. I mean, he kind of runs the show in the office with the phone calls, customer service, dealing with all the employee stuff. I mean, he takes on a pretty big chunk off of me. And I'm not gonna lie, if he hadn't done that, I probably won't have the time that I can with my family. He's not married yet. He just got a girlfriend, stuff like that. So it's for me, need to balance the time out, and he's given me the ability to balance the time out. So I'm gonna have to go with sister on that one because sister wants to just come in when it's done. So
We're almost out of time. I think we only have time for
Yeah.
a couple more questions. So,
more.
Jeff, do you want
Yeah.
to lead?
So we wanted to ask you to talk for a moment about the ice carving side of your business. We saw a few pictures we wanted to share,
Yeah.
and, and just kind of ask you about, how large a part of
I'm
your
always
business is
fascinated
that?
about the ice carvings
Yeah.
and
I
the
mean, it is incredible. I can't, again, another wonderful partner of ours that I truly appreciate that we've done a lot of work with. We did a big ice bar for my wedding, and as things kind of progressed, they got a little crazier and more requests. Ice Bulb out of Orange County. The owner's name is Mark. He's been a great partner with us. He's done some incredible pieces. These are all made by him. But we do majority of the setups and the takedowns. All this stuff is all made by Ice Bulb out of Orange County, California, and they've been a wonderful partner of ours. We've always talked about partnering up, and really taking on distribution where he makes all the ice carvings, but we've gotten to a point where you know he buys a lot of dry ice, a lot of packaged ice, and we buy all of our ice carvings from there. This is such a difficult task to do. I mean, it takes a lot. I mean, it takes a lot to be in the ice carving game. And it's just, at first, I bought a CNC, I got a couple climb bell machines, and I said, all right, we're going to do this. And then once I looked at the software and this, I'm like, man, you got all your eggs in one basket with someone. And that's when I was like, you know what? Let's pump the brakes here. Let's see if there's somebody that we could partner with to give us a good deal on an ice piece, and then we'll make a good margin on it by just, you know, going and pick it up while we're dropping off ice, and it really creating a nice partnership. So shout out to Mark from Ice Bulb. Again, man, couldn't have done it without you guys. And we do a lot of carving pieces that we get bids on out here in California. I mean, Southern California, and mainly in the San Diego County region, where there's not a big commodity, not a commodity, but there's not that many people that do these big, wonderful
right.
pieces. So we get a lot of that attraction, and a lot of it's by word of mouth. A lot of it's by word of mouth. So we're proud to be doing it, and proud to be a partner with Ice Bowl.
Well, I've got one other photo I want to show real quick, but
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
probably 12, 15 years old.
Yeah, it's
So, and
man,
I need to know
killing
if
me here with it.
this was your first one, if you hand did this one. So, Jeff, if you'll show, was this your creation?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
this does not look like the
This
others.
is kind of like, man, it was during Halloween time, and we were just kind of screwing around.
Were you blindfolded? Were you blindfolded? I mean,
No, man, we do. This was all hand done. We so
you're not
we did this just to have like on display for customers for fun.
saying,
We wanted to do
yeah.
something cool. We
I,
were
I had
bored.
a feeling. Yeah.
What's
That's
that?
so funny. Well, I was just saying, when I came across this one, I'm like, this one is not like the others. So I got a feeling that this was maybe it looked like a blindfold kind of
All done by a chainsaw, bro. All done by a chainsaw.
pretty impressive. Then I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap up. Really, the last question is our advice. That what would you give? You know what you've seen, and again, you're such a young man, but you're still long in the tooth. What advice would you give to some ice companies out there? As you know, we're through the middle part of 2025, heading into the next 5 years of this decade.
Oh, good question. Don't cut yourself too short. Um, some of the business isn't worth it on undercutting prices. I've been in a lot of price wars. Sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it is. Um, Always look at the bottom line. It's all math. It doesn't lie. It doesn't cheat. It doesn't steal. The bottom line really counts. And it took me 12 years to understand that. But I'm not going to say I didn't lose. I feel like if I had looked at the bottom line a lot sooner than I thought of, um, I probably would have a little bit more dollars in my bank account. But we're very happy where we are. Very successful. We've been truly blessed what we became and what we've achieved here. But after I really learned a little bit more about numbers and this and that, what's realistic, what's reality, specifically for mom and pops, there it's just look at the bottom line, and the success is right in front of you. And a lot of times we get distracted. Oh yeah, money's coming in, money's coming out. The reason why, Ethan, I choose that answer is because we've all been through a tough time the last 5 years, in and out of COVID, cash flow, people having financial problems where it's difficult. And I really feel for people. And I've been, we've all been in tight positions where this economy, this world is changing, scammers, wars, interest rates, all this stuff. You just never know what's going to come about today. So don't cut yourself too short. And I mean that in a way of like, as a general scheme, look at what really makes sense for you. Don't chew more than you can handle. And that's one thing that I've learned, and I still think about times where I've chewed more than I can handle. And I really learned from my mistakes, and it's come to me now where it's like, you know, I'm more of a numbers guy, more than just like, oh yeah, let me go take over all this, let me take over all that, and oh let me cut the price in half. It's, what does it make sense for you? How big is your investment?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm going to end where I started. Well, pretty much almost where I started, but I'm proud of you. I'm proud for
Thanks,
you. I wish you nothing but the best,
thank you.
success in life and all that. But I'll let Jeff
Yeah.
close us out. But thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. We've been coming at you from the RouteMan studios at KCS headquarters in Pelham, Alabama. We thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Anthony, for sharing with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me again, guys, and maybe we look forward to the next one.
Heck yeah, man. Have a great day.
Cool. Thanks.